Oh, we gotta talk right now on this Thursday morning. Gotta wait for some people to come in here. Come on in. Anybody awake? Anybody alive in the Twitter sphere? Hello? What up? What's going on? Who's home? Who's awake? Who's alive? What's up, Michael? What's going on? I had to come live. I had to discuss a little something about the channel. What's going on, Relic? Mustafa, Steve, what's going on, everybody? Just waiting for some people to get in here. Little update on the channel. Wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the channel and what's going on. Let's light up a cigarette. I just woke up not too long ago. So I wanted to just go live to talk today about the channel. And I made an announcement last night that Famous B was going to do a podcast with me. And as soon as I make this announcement that Famous B was going to do a little cheesy little podcast with me on my Patreon, right away, there's complaining. Right away, there's complaining like, oh, look, I just did one with him a couple of days ago, and now you're copying me. And it's like, no matter who I ask, no matter what moves I make, there's always a fucking problem. There's always a problem. Now, everybody knows that my cousin Chris doesn't show up anymore because he's very busy with work. So he can't show up until he has downtime again, which is fucking months from now. So, and he's done this every year. Chris, you know, he'll be here when he's not working. And then when he starts working, he goes back to work full time, and he can barely show up to the shows. And that's like that for months. It was like that last year. So, I don't have Chris, you know what I mean? Lucky Low is doing stuff in his life, private stuff that I don't know about, that he can't work as much anymore either. So I lost Lucky Low for the good part of the year. Filthy Mouth Gamer. Everybody knows what he was going through. Lost his father. He's been working 2 jobs. He's been working a job at night while we go live, and you know, he's late to the show, or sometimes he doesn't show up, and that's not his fault. He's got to make money and take care of his family. So I lost guys, and I'm trying to look for people that I haven't really worked with to work with me, or for me to work with them, vice versa. You know, like collaborate with each other type of thing. One hand washes the other, blah, blah, blah. So I went to Famous B and I asked him if he wanted to do a podcast with me, because we were talking about this for a while, a long time, doing shit together. So finally, I asked him, do you want to do something with me on the Patreon? And he's down to do it. You know, we'll do a show where it's kind of like, you know, a Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless type thing, where, you know, there's a major lack of sports now in the community with JB gone. And, you know, it's like, I want to get my fill of sports, so I was like, you know, why don't I just do a show that we talk about sports, you know? So that's what we plan on doing, talking about sports, wrestling related shit, not so much new wrestling, but like old shit, stuff like that. So I ask him, he says yes, he wants to do it, he's down with it. Sounds like a great idea. Like I said, I've been asking him for months. Not asking him for months, but we've been bullshitting for months about working together, collaborating, you know, doing something on a podcast, like a old-fashioned podcast, no interruptions, you know, no music, just us talking and bullshitting. So I asked him to do that, and he basically said yeah, and I announced it last night, and it's like right away I announced it. It's like, oh, you know, oh, I did this 2 days ago. You're copying me. I did this 2 days ago. It's like, I don't keep track of what anybody does on Twitter. I don't keep track of people's lineups. I don't keep track of who they're working with or who they're not working with. So as soon as I got to see a fucking tweet or a remark like, oh, he's copying me again, it's like, what? I can't work with anybody that I met through a person, like if I met somebody through this person, that means, no, you can't ever work with them, you can't, and I never want to fucking copy the next guy. If I would have known that Joe was doing, or anybody else was doing a show with Famous B, I would have fucking obviously not asked them right away. So it's like, I don't keep track of other people's lineups and what they're doing. Sorry. I just don't go on Twitter like that enough to know and read what's going on there. You know what I mean? So it's like, there it is. There's the tweet again. So I got to wake up to the fucking tweet again of somebody being mad because I fucking asked somebody to do a podcast with me. I've asked 1 million people to do podcasting with me. I've asked Clambake. Like I've asked a lot of people to do podcasting. I obviously, and my guys are not around right now, so of course I'm going to ask people to do shit with me, and it's like I cannot make the right move no matter what I do. I cannot make the right move. Cannot, Yeah, but how, like protecting your income, I get that. But does protecting your income mean that you have to go out onto Twitter and tweet about it? Like, oh, he's stealing something from me again. Like, to me, that's not protecting your shit. That's being a little bitch. You want to protect your shit. Like, say, hey, man, I just did a show with this guy. You're asking him to do a show? Oh, I would have been like, oh, shit, I didn't realize that. I'm not going to fucking do it then. You know what I mean? But the communication is not there. So it's like, oh, he defends himself by going on fucking Twitter and just saying, hey, he's copying me again. So if that's protecting your shit, it's a shitty way of doing it. That was my point. People get fucked up in this community with each other and get in fights with each other because the communication is not there. There's no communication. There's no interaction. It's like I got to go read a lineup on somebody else's channel to make sure I'm not breaking any rules. It's like pathetic. It's fucking pathetic. First of all, I have no affiliation with anybody. I do a show with somebody and say, hey, you want to start doing a show again? And I get dicked the fuck around with that too. So it's like, I don't have affiliation with anybody. So technically I could ask and do whatever the fuck I want, right? But out of respect to people, I stay away and I don't do certain things. It's like we made a prank fucking phone call, a sex phone call. It was this big fucking thing that how dare we do that? How dare we take somebody else's shtick when I've been making prank phone calls since I was fucking 8 years old? You know what I mean? It's like, who created this? Who created all this? Is all creation created by one person? Have all these podcasts been created by one person? I don't know. It's just, it's really weird. But you know what? So I'm not going to do anything with Famous B because I don't want to be copying people and be stepping on people's feet. You know what I mean? So I'm obviously not going to do it with them now since there's a problem. So, and that's the way I've always been. I've stayed away from doing fucking phone calls, prank phone calls, sex phone calls on my show because we used to do them on Joe's show. So I stayed away from it for a long time. My wife's drunk one night. Anybody who goes listens to that fucking show can hear. She's like, no, I want to make a prank. I want to make a sex call. And I'm like, I really don't want to do it, but no, I really want to do it. Okay. So, I mean, anybody can hear what I said in the show because I knew something would come of that. So I just, whatever, I let it go anyway. You know what I mean? So, and I haven't done that. And anybody who watches the show knows that I haven't done that because of that. I haven't hooked up with bullfrogs and calling me every fucking show I do. 20, 30 times a show. Begging me to come on my shit. Begging me, calling me. You know, and it's like, I don't let them on. Why don't I let them on? Out of respect to other people. But yet, it's like I go and I make a move and ask somebody, hey, you want to do an hour-long podcast with me, sporting-wise, because nobody's doing any sports in the community. I think it would be cool if we could cover sports and give just a little bit of taste of sports to people. Yeah, it's a great idea. But you can't do it because it's like, oh, you work with him? Oh, you did a podcast with him? Oh, sorry, I can't work with you. Can't work with you. You have a contract, right? You have a contract? I can't work with you. So, and of course I have a lot of people that will help me out, man. I have a ton of guys that help me out all the time. A ton of people that help me out and come on to the shows. So all I was thinking about was just adding a fucking wrestling, not a wrestling, like a sports orientated show to the lineup. And that's it. So it's like, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't, man. It really is. It's like, it's so frustrating. My guys, they need to work. They're doing their own thing. They have their own fucking lives, you know. So it's like, I can't be mad at those guys. I can't be mad at Chris for not showing up, or Mike, or Lucky Low. These guys got lives, you know. They got lives, and they're obviously busy right now. And things just, you know, they're not as, you know, rock solid as they once were. So that's why I'm trying to just reach out to different people and do different things. You know, it's like I'm trying to do something different, but then I get blamed of copying somebody anyway. So it's like, I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't, man. It's just fucking crazy. Let me see what you say. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, I know. Some people just can't do it. They don't have the time, you know what I mean? Hey, what's up, Rocky? You're in the chat, man. What's going on? Listen, man. It is what it is. I don't know, man. It's like, you know how fucking life is, man. People, they get busy and they can't show up to a podcast, and I understand that. That's like the last thing on people's list is to show up to a fucking podcast when they're dealing with shit in their lives, you know? So, but it's like, man, I can't win with that shit. Just cannot win, man. Trying to read what you guys are writing. Oh shit, Brian, I didn't even notice that, man. I didn't even know you went through that. Are you serious about that? Listen, I'm open to work with fucking anybody, man. I'm open to work with anybody who wants to collaborate or do anything with me, you know. But it's like even people who ask me like, hey, can I come on the show? And then I let them on, and then I get complaints that they're on my fucking show, and it's like, God almighty, man. You know, God forbid I went and put this guy on who calls me 700 times a fucking show, Bullfrog. If I put him on, then it's like, oh God, you put him on, and it's just like, God damn, man, what the fuck? Can't make the right move. What's up, Gorilla Strong? What's going on, brother? I'll check it. I definitely will. Oh, Jesus Christ, I just read that in the chat. Oh, man, it is what it is, man, I guess. You know, it's like, I guess I gotta just, like, I don't know. I guess I just gotta work by myself as far as my shit, you know? And whenever Filthy's there, he'll come on. Whenever Chris is there, they'll come on. And same thing with Lucky Low. I guess I just gotta work by myself. I guess that would be like, I don't know, that's probably the best thing I could do right now, I guess. You know? And I understand, like, let me just say this. I understand, like, if I'm sitting in someone else's shoes and I'm like, oh, I did a podcast with this guy 2 days ago, and now this guy is asking this guy to do a podcast with him, like, that seems a little weird. But I wouldn't go and make a big fucking deal about it on Twitter or fucking complain about it. I would just kind of call that person and be like, yo, are you working with this person because you saw me working with them? Or, like, did you, like, did I give you the idea or something to work with this person because I am? Or, you know, I don't know. But I understand maybe, like, the whole like, what the fuck? You know, I just did something with this guy 2 days ago. But the truth is, I have no fucking clue about that. I had no clue about that somebody was working with somebody 2 days ago. All I thought was, who can I do something with that knows sports and can do like an hour-long recording with me? And Famous B popped into my head because he knows sports. Z, what's up, man?
They caught me. King, it's Kane. King, it's Kane. It's Kane. Cerebral palsy.
Man, fuck all the shit. Can you have the right to work with whoever you want, do sex call, etc., and fuck whoever doesn't like what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you, man. I know, you know what, and I've been like that, like, fuck people. If they, you know, I don't care if they don't like what I'm doing or they complain about it, fuck them. I've done that, but it's like, you know, you wake up and you got to see, like, a complaint. It just fucking irritates me a little, you know what I mean? It just fucking irritates me that, you know, I speak to somebody so much, you know, it's like, you know my number, you know how to get in touch with me, we text each other all the time, you know what I mean? It's like every other day we're talking to each other, so it's like you can't just throw me a line like, yo man, I just did something with him 2 days ago, I heard you say that you're going to do something with him, you know, like, what's the deal with that? Did you get that idea from me, or like, and then I would have said, oh shit, didn't realize that, maybe I shouldn't do anything with him, I don't want to make it look like I'm copying you or anybody else. I just figured Famous B, he calls the show, we talk a lot, we talk about a lot of cool things, we've had a lot of good conversations off air, sports-wise and wrestling, why not just record that and bring that to the air, you know? So it was very innocent and, you know, just brainstorming, trying to come up with something, and I thought, you know, there's no sports really in the community anymore, so why not do something where we cover sports and shit? So I fucked up again, right? So you're not invited to shows now. You're not gonna come to shows anymore now. You're not invited to shows anymore now. You're a bad boy. You're a bad boy. I'm gonna put you down for a couple of weeks now. Bad boy.
What are you doing?
What?
What are you doing?
Trying to get out of here.
What?
Get out.
Oh, you're home.
You know that. So I've been a bad boy again. So I'm not invited to play in the schoolyard anymore. I'm not invited no more to play in the schoolyard. I got to be good for a couple of weeks, maybe. Maybe I'll be invited back to the schoolyard if I'm good for a couple of weeks, you know? So I got to be a good boy in school for a couple of weeks, and then the principal will let me back into the schoolyard again with my friends. I can bring my ball back and start playing again with everybody if I'm good. But I gotta be good. I gotta be a good boy for a couple of weeks. I might get out early with fucking good behavior. Yeah, I might be able to collaborate and hang out with people if I have good behavior. That's what I heard. Just be a good boy. Be a good boy for a couple of weeks. You know, like, listen, I understand this is a living for me. This is how I take care of my family. This is how I, you know, take care of my shit. This is how I, you know, I do this, and this is how I do that, and this is how I pay my bills. And so I got to be really cautious about what goes on with my shit and who's doing what and who's doing this and who's doing that. So I got to protect my shit, you know? So every time somebody tries to work together that met each other through me, you know, I got to get mad about it. I got to throw little zingers out there, and I got to say something about it. If that's protecting your shit, well, it's a faggot way of doing it. It's a faggot fucking spineless way of doing it. You know? It's a spineless way of doing it. So, fuck it. Fuck it. We'll go back to that shit again. We'll go back to fucking little tit-anny shit back and forth again, right? That's what we'll go back to. Well, let's read the chat a little bit here. Oh, fuck, man. You know, Sir Cognal, man. Yeah, I know you know a shit ton about sports, man. You know? I basically just wanted to do a show with somebody for an hour long that we talked sports. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to give a sports look to the community and to myself. That's it. So I thought of Famous B. Somebody who I've never really worked with before, who's been on my show a million times, who I've talked to a million times, and I had no fucking clue that people even did anything together a couple of days ago. Like, I'm not a mind reader. I don't fucking check schedules and check, contracts. Who's on the contract this week? Let me see. Oh, Famous B's on the contract this week. Can't use him. Fuck. It's on the contract. Like, are we fucking for real? Is that for real? That's protecting your shit. To say, oh, great, I just did a podcast 2 days ago with this guy. Fucking never ends. Always somebody copying the great one, right? Always somebody copying the great one. Damn. Bad boy. Bad boy. You're a bad boy, and now you're going into punishment. You go into punishment now, right? God. The fucking, like, oh my God. What a fucking little weasel. Little fucking weasel. It's a weasel way of doing things, man. It really is. It's just a weasel way to jump on Twitter and be like, I'm on Twitter. Like, it just reminds me of a fucking fag. Like, blow cocks already, man. Just admit you like guys already. Jesus Christ, man. The fuck. The fuck. Damn. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, hey, dude, Sir Cognal, man, you do sports all the time, man. I'd love to do something sports-wise, man. JB is no longer in the community, so that's why I was, like, thinking, hey, they lost a lot of the sports fill that people get that they like, so why not just try to do something to, I guess, fill a little void. I'm not looking to fucking, put this big brand new fucking show on about sports and wrestling, you know what I mean? It was going to be a little hour podcast, nothing huge, nothing too big, just a little something. And of course, made the wrong move again. Come on. So I made the wrong move again. Come here, boy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, look, say hi to everybody. Say hi. Say hi. Look, they're all in there. Say hi to them. They're all in there. Look. Look in there. Look. Look in there. Look. I should fucking look in there. Look in there. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. You all right, buddy? Who you working with? Just make sure that they didn't work with Joe before you play with them, okay? Just go out there and you ask the other doggy if they are under contract. And if they're under contract, just leave the yard and take the ball and just leave the yard. Man, I'm telling you right now, you don't want to face what you face on Twitter. You don't want to face it on Twitter. You don't want to face it on Twitter. Okay? Just take your ball and run. If somebody works with him, take your ball and run, bro. Just do it. No, stop smelling my hat and listen to me, bro. If those dogs out there work with him, you need to take your ball and run, bro. Give me a kiss right here. Give me one. Give me one right here. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Kiss me. Kiss me right here. Kiss. Kiss me. Kiss me. What? You're a dog. You kiss people. Kiss me. Hello? Hello, hi, hello? Hello, you standing on me? Hi, I'm here, hello? Can you give me a kiss? Can I have a kiss? No? That's great. Only dog I ever met doesn't kiss fucking anybody. Yeah? No. What are you doing to me? Alright, get out of here. God. Oh, man. Yeah, so anyway, that's where we're at. Now with that happening, I'll tell you what's going to happen. I can tell you the exact repercussions now. With that happening, that I went and said I was going to do a show with him, and he did one 2 days before. With that happening now I get shunned again now, and I get treated like an outcast again. But that's fine, because you know what? I don't give a fuck. I'm not friends with anybody. I'm not working with anybody, and I really don't give a fuck. I really don't care. So, whatever. I'm punished again. I can't take my ball and play in the schoolyard. I really don't give a fuck, because you know what? I like playing outside the schoolyard. I like playing outside the schoolyard. So, Famous B just texted me while I'm doing this live stream, so I'll see what he says. But yeah, I'm just gonna cancel that, because God forbid, you know, I don't want to make it look like I'm copying somebody. And before I make any moves on working with anybody, collaborating with anybody, doing anything with anybody, I'm gonna check the scheduling first, and I'll check to see whose contracts are signed and who's, you know, under what contract and who works with who and who you can't touch and who's affiliated with who and who met who through who and all these different rules. And you can't make fucking, you know, sex calls because it's my thing. And, you know, and I had a conversation with him the other night and said, are you serious about this sex phone call shit? Like you're really mad that we made a sex phone call? Yeah, that's my bit. Motherfucker, that's not your bit. I don't give a fuck if you were doing it since 05, motherfucker. I've been making prank fucking phone calls since I was like 7, 8 years old. Like, let's stop this shit. Okay, there was life before I met this person. Okay, there was life before that. And there's gonna be life after it. Okay, didn't learn everything from one person. Didn't learn everything. Didn't meet everybody through one person. You know, so, protect your shit. That's fine. Protect your shit. Obviously, you have to. You take care of your family with it, but protect it the right way. You know what I mean? Protect it the right way. Don't be a spineless little cunt about things. You know, a little communication once in a while would help a lot of things out to move forward. You know, because obviously, even if I'm not working with somebody, I'm not supposed to work with certain people. Even if I'm not affiliated with somebody, I'm still not allowed to work with certain people and do certain things, right? So I have to keep track of all these things on who's with who did what with who, you know. All right, you did a podcast with this guy 5 years ago. Am I allowed to work with him yet? Am I allowed to work with him yet? And it's not copying yet, or what am I? You catch my drift? Like, it's like, when does the statute of limitation end with somebody who's worked with, you know? What happens to that? Like, when does the statute of limitation end on working with somebody? Like, I worked with him in 05. You know, 3 years you can work with him. He's free of contract in 3 years. You know, it's kind of like that shit where it's like, oh, you're leaving WWE, and you want to go to WCW, but you can't go there till your contract's up. So for a year, you got to sit there and shut your mouth, and you can't do any shows, and you can't be heard, and you can't say nothing. There's like a gag order. So is that how we do things here? Do I have to wait like a year or two before I can work with somebody, or do I have to wait like 5 or 6 years before I can do a bit that's universally done on a million fucking different shows? You know what I mean? On a million different shows and a million different people have done. Do I have to wait on those? Is there a time limit on that too? You know what I mean? I don't know. But apparently the way things that certain people want them to be, the way that people want certain things to be, is you don't do shit that I do. So basically, if you really want to get technical about it, I shouldn't be talking, I shouldn't be breathing, I shouldn't be looking into the camera, I shouldn't have lights, I shouldn't have a fucking camera, I shouldn't have a microphone, the same mic, I shouldn't have earphones, I shouldn't have a background, I shouldn't have logos, I shouldn't have, because those were all thought of by one person and one person only, and you're copying if you do anything like that. So it's so fucking just so retarded. It really is. It's so retarded. But, I guess I fucked up because I went and picked somebody that worked recently. So that's my bad. No problem. I mean, I have nobody to work with. I have nobody to collaborate with. I have some people to collaborate with and work with, but I have nobody new and nobody that wants to do sports type thing, and that's all I was looking to do. So I guess I'll scratch that and think of something else, and hopefully I won't think of something that's been done already, and there's not much you can really fucking think of to do that hasn't been done already. You know what I mean? So it's damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, man. It's fucking crazy. I mean, it's like we made a fucking sex call because my wife was begging to do it because she was lit. And it's like the next day I hear, like, you took my bit. I took your bit? Really? Did I take it when I was 5 years old and you weren't even on this fucking earth yet and I was doing that shit? Like, fucking weird, man. Fucking very weird. Let me put it to you this way. If you're a person who's talented and you know you're talented and people back you up and they fucking support you in what you do, you shouldn't be nervous or worried about what anybody else is doing. If I did a show with Filthy, right, and then 3 days later he went and did a show with anybody else in the fuck community, I wouldn't be sitting there going, I do shows with him. Now look at this fucking, sure, of course they're gonna go and take him now to fucking do a show with. I'd be like, go and have fucking fun. Go and have fun. If I did a show with Johnny Ray Sinister, and then 2 days later he's doing a podcast with JB, do you think I would give a fuck? You think I would fucking care enough to go on Twitter and be like, copying me? You think I would care? If I don't know, if a guy like Drew came onto my show and was watching my show for fucking years and supported my show and had fun and came on it and collaborated with me, and then that person, and then say he does a show with me one night, comes on, has fun, and then the next night he's on this guy's show, I'm not going to sit there and get mad over it. It's like people, we all know each other. We all know each other in the circle of people. We all know each other. But there's people that are lit and red that are basically, it says, oh, this person's lit and red, you're not allowed to work with that person.
Yeah, she didn't take that goddamn segue. You know, I often wondered if King was Kane. Oh, shit. Oh, it's always on my mind. Oh, I want to fuck me up some cops. They caught me. King, it's Kane. King, it's Kane. It's Kane. Cerebral palsy.
Ken, you're being too much a New Yorker. Am offended. I demand an apology for not behaving like other cultures. This is biased against other races. Shame on you, Ken. Go back to the corner for your time out.
Fuck y'all, I'm doing a fucking podcast with Filthy and Famous B. Oh, man. I don't know. But does that make sense to you guys? Like if I worked with, like, say Dave Rose came on. Shout out to Dave Rose. Say he came on to my show, right? Or say he worked with this person since 05. And then he comes on and does a fucking half-hour show with me. Is that a big deal? Is that a big deal? I remember me and JB did a show together on my channel called United States of JB. Were people mad at that? That was a collaboration with somebody who's working currently with somebody else. Like, why tweet it out and have a problem with it? And if you do have a problem with it, why not just contact me and say, dude, I just started doing a podcast with this guy, like, and now you're doing one. It just looks stupid. It takes away what I'm doing with him. I would have been like, fuck, man, I didn't realize that. I won't do it then. I won't do it. I had no clue. I had no clue you guys are doing shit together right now. I don't want to take away from your shit. Sorry I asked them. Maybe we'll work a couple of months down the line. That's what would have been said. It wouldn't have been like, fuck you, man, I'm going to work with whoever the fuck I want, you fucking spineless cunt. I'm going to work with whoever I want. It wouldn't have been like that. It would have been like, oh, really? You just started working with him. Yeah, I don't want to take away from what you guys are doing, man. If I do work with him, I'll do it in a couple of weeks or months. I don't want to take away from you guys. Sorry, I had no clue. That's the way it would have went down. But no, it goes down like this. No communication, then go on Twitter and go, fucking people coming. I like Twitter is like, Twitter to some people is like their bitch mode. It's like their little fucking, they turn into like little bitches, bitch mode. Like a little fucking bitch. You know? It's like, I use Twitter to be a little bitch. That's what I use Twitter for, to go on and complain and be a bitch. That's what I use Twitter for. You know, let me, up. I feel like I got to bitch out somebody. Let me go to Twitter. Hurry up, run to Twitter. You know, it's like sickening, dude. Grow a backbone. You know, like fucking contact somebody. It would have been so easily taken care of. It didn't even need to be public. It didn't even need to be tweeted. It could have been so easily taken care of. Like, yo, I'm doing shit with this guy. I just did it 2 days ago. Did you know that? No, I had no fucking clue. I don't keep track of your shit. All right, can you do me a favor and maybe not do anything with him yet? All right, no problem. It's as easy as that. It's as easy as that. But when you're dealing with certain people, easy things turn into hard things. And that's just the way it is. A real easy situation turns into a hard, difficult situation when you deal with certain people. Plain and simple. And you know what? From here on out, I am going to do whatever the fuck I want. And you'll see the difference. You will see the difference. There's a lot of shit I held back on for a really long time out of respect to people. But you know what? Fuck that. Fuck respecting people that don't give a fuck about anybody else. Fuck that shit. Fuck that. I'm sick and tired of the fucking, I'm sick and tired of the fucking, the principal slapping my wrist and telling me I can't go play out in the yard anymore. So I'm going to go fucking do whatever I want now. I'll do whatever the fuck I want now, and we'll see the difference. We'll see the difference now. I'll work and do whatever the fuck I want now, and we will see the difference. And you guys let me know if you see the difference. You guys let me know if you see the difference. Because now, from here on out, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want with whoever the fuck I want. No matter if...
Yeah, she didn't take that goddamn sick way. How about that? I often wondered if King was Kane. Oh, shit. Oh, it's always on my mind. Oh, I want to fuck me up some cops. They caught me. King, it's Kane. King, it's Kane. It's Kane. Terrible policy.
The truth is, Cronin lost his father at young age, followed by a shit stepdad. He has abandonment issues and self-projects by holding on to everyone in his circle. When someone wants to be an individual, he feels threatened and the parental trauma ensues.
Wow. Yo, whoever the fuck that was, man, whoever that was, man, put that the best way I've ever heard somebody put it. And you're right. He does have those issues. He admits them to him. He admits them out loud to everybody. He does. He's very honest about it. That's a good thing about him. Very honest about that. But it's like, okay, as a friend, I would sit there and care and be like, yo, don't do that because there's certain things he doesn't like, and you don't want to upset the guy or hurt him, But I'm not treated like a friend. I'm not treated like a friend. So that's number one. And I don't need to be. I'm not looking for friendship. I have enough friends. I don't need any more. But I'm not treated like that, number one. And number two, I think that knowing all that, you would think that the person would actively try to change the fucked up things that they do, knowing what's wrong with yourself. But obviously, I could say some really fucked up shit right now, and I don't want to. It's like, I'll just put it this way. If I ever did something online and my wife wouldn't do it with me, I wouldn't even bother doing shit. If my wife was to the point where she fucking wants nothing to do with what I'm doing on the side, there's got to be a goddamn good reason for that. There's got to be a good reason for that, And I'm just speculating. I'm not trying to hurt or hate on anybody. It's just things in certain situations, says 1,000 words. It says 1,000 words. So, I don't know. I just can't make the right moves no matter what. It's like if you want to be friends and you want to work with somebody, you got to walk on fucking eggshells and you got to watch every little fucking thing you do. And you better fucking not collaborate. You better not fucking talk or do or say anything that's remotely close to what this person's doing, or else you're just going to be tagged and fucking, you'll have a million things said about you, and then when you go and question the person, it was like, oh, I wasn't even talking about you. I wasn't talking about you, I wasn't even mentioning you. It had nothing to do with you. Really? Because you mentioned my name 3 times, but all right. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. I have really no one to work with because my guys are busy, and I just tried to do something with somebody and blew up in my face again. So I really do think like the way to go now from here on out is to just do whatever the fuck I want. You know, no disrespect to anybody out there, but I think from here on out I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want and have fun with it and work with whoever the fuck I want and not worry about if they're working with this person or, you know, what the affiliation is, and fuck it, man. Just whatever. I don't really give a fuck anymore. So starting tomorrow night, we're gonna have a belt and a point system. If you guys want, we could crown a champion at the end of the night, and we're gonna have a whole belt and a whole point system set up, and you guys can call in or donate towards the person that you want to be the champ for that night. So starting tomorrow night, that's what we're gonna. No, I'm just kidding. But if they want me to do that, I'll do that. You keep pressing me about little things here and there, I'll copy your whole entire fucking show. How about that? Go ahead, Muggsy. Go in. Go ahead. Go. I would never do that, but I mean, I'm copying anyway, so who cares, right? Who gives a fuck? Copying anyway, right? I'm on fire. Let's see what the chat's saying here. Let's see. No, there are no contracts. There's no contracts. Nobody has contracts with anybody. Famous B said, you know, hell yeah, man, let's do something. You know, it's an hour long. I don't expect Famous B to be like, Ken, you do know that I did something with Joe 2 days ago, right? I don't expect him to be like, yo, you do know I did something with Joe 2 days ago, right? Like you're asking me to do, you know, a podcast. I don't know. You might want to think that over because I'm kind of on the contract with somebody right now. You know, I don't expect him to tell me that. I don't expect Joe to hit me up and be like, yo, I'm doing a show with Famous B, so just don't do anything with him. You know, so I guess it's up to me to know who's doing what, but in reality, it's like, who cares who's doing what with what? I can't work with a guy because you're doing something with him? That is so fucking stupid. I remember Johnny Holes came on our show and was doing this whole fucking shtick. I remember when Mellow Yellow first came out as Fami, right? On our show, on my show, he came out as Fami. And like a week later, he was on Joe's show doing the whole Fami thing. Did I get pissed? Did I say, hey man, that shit was created on my show. What are you doing bringing it on yours and making fucking $700 on it? What are you doing? Did I complain about that? No. I said, hey, this is a person who's in the community, and whatever show he'd like to go on and collaborate with or work with, he can. And I wouldn't take it as, hey, you took my bit that we created on my show. No, I took it as, hey, everybody had fun with it, man. Everybody had fun with it. You know, if Cronin wants to fucking put that on his show, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to laugh my balls off at it like I did when it was on my show. That's just how I am. That's how I am. You know, so obviously not everybody's like that. But, you know, I try to do the right moves, try to make the right moves, try to be respectful of people. But it's like the more I do that, the more I see on Twitter and the more I hear behind the scenes. So I'm left with one fucking choice. And it's to do whatever the fuck I want to do. You know, and I'm going to do that now from here on out. And fuck the schoolyard. Even if I'm invited back to the schoolyard, fuck the schoolyard. I'm not coming. I'm not going back to the schoolyard. How about that now? Fuck that schoolyard. I'm going to just do what I want to fucking do now from here on out. That's it. Plain and simple. I'm going to work with who I want and do whatever the fuck I want. You know what? I'm going to work with Famous B. If Famous B will work with me and do a podcast with me, I'm going to do it with him. You know? And I'm going to reach out to other people too. And I'm going to ask them if they want to do shit with me too. Like a Sir Cognal, who knows a ton about sports. Like a fucking, like fucking Clambake. I asked him to do it. He wrote down in the chat. He's been approached by several people to do shit in the community. Like, what's wrong with asking people to collaborate, even if they've collaborated with other people in the past? Who gives a fuck? Who cares? If I was not allowed to work with people that worked with other people, none of us would be able to do anything together.
Yeah, she didn't take that goddamn segue. You know, I often wondered if King was Kane. And Kane was, oh shit! Oh, it's always on my mind. Oh, I want to fuck me up some cops. They caught me. King, it's Kane. King, it's Kane. It's Kane. Cerebral palsy.
Shout out to the chat. Fuck Cronin and his abusive ass. Love your shows, Ken. Me, you, Dave, and Filthy should do a retro game podcast.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it, man. I'm down. I'm totally down. I love bullshitting with Famous B because me and him bullshit about movies, about old-time wrestling, about sports, and even just talking to him on the phone, it's a fun conversation. So that was the first thing I thought was like, oh man, that would be great to fucking like do something sports-wise with him, you know? And it just popped into my brain. I had no fucking clue that 2 days before somebody worked with him. I had no fucking clue. I had no clue. But yet it will be perceived as, oh, look at this. He saw what I did, and he's up my ass trying to do everything that I do. And it's like, oh, he's trying to make what I make and appeal to the people I appeal. No, it's not what I'm doing. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what you're doing, obviously. Obviously, I don't know enough to even know who the fuck you're working with on a regular basis. And I don't have your fucking Patreon. How am I supposed to know who the fuck works with you on your Patreon? Like, why don't you fucking have a list that you post up on your shows at the beginning of the week? Hey, for this week, this is who I'm working with. Don't work with them. All right? Give us a list. Give us a list if you want us to be aware of who not to work with. Give us a list of what active bits you're doing and what bits I can do now that the statutes of limitation have fell off of them. Oh, I did this bit 9 years ago, so you guys can do this bit now. It's been 9 years since I did it. You know, just have a list of the people you're working with that I'm not allowed to work with, right? And then give me a list of all the bits and shit that I can't do that you've done. Okay? Give me a list of the people that I can't work with, and give me a list of the bits that I can and I can't do. All right? How's that? You want to give me that every week? How about every Sunday you give me that list? How about every Sunday you give me that list? Then I can go over the list and I can say, okay, Famous B's on the contract, this guy's on the contract, that guy's on the contract, I can't do this bit because he did it 3 weeks ago. You know, give me a list. Give me a list. So you can protect what you do. So you can protect your income. Just give me a list. You know? Because I wouldn't want you to hurt your income. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want you to not be able to take care of your family. Right? That's why I stay away from all the shit that I have for fucking 4 years because of that. You know, because I don't want you to take care of your family. I want you to fail, right? I want you to do bad. I want to copy, and I want to copy and get the same people you're working with so I can copy you and then do it better than you so they'll start liking me instead of you. And that's what this fucking guy's thinking. That's what this guy's thinking. Okay? That's the thought process. Look at this shit. He's copying me and then trying to do it better than me, and then, oh God, these people might support him and then leave me, and then, oh God, and then I gotta go on Twitter. What an insecure cunt, man. Yeah, I know all the problems of the past. I know the father. I know all the problems. He admits to all the problems, just like I admit to my shit. I know all of them. I know all the issues, and I've walked around all those issues for 4 years. I've walked around all those issues, even when I'm not friends. I still walked around those issues. When me and Cronin were not talking for the last year, right? Did you see me making sex phone calls? Did you see me trying to collaborate with people that work with him? Did you see me trying to copy him? No. Not at all. Not at all. But now I'm copying people because I want to work with somebody. Yeah, Eric, I was let down too, man. But I did it because a lot of people wanted to see it. And a lot of the supporters were like, do it, man, do it. We want to see you guys, do it. Get back together again, or do the show together again, or do one together. A lot of people were like, please do it, please do it. So that's why I did it. It was basically for the supporters. That's why I did it. And I kind of figured that would happen anyway, because I knew once that was done, the trolls would go and put those videos out there and put shit out there, and I knew it would get right into that brain. I knew it. And you would think a person who's been doing this for as long as they have, that they would already be past that point where they can, you know, hear the trolls, see the videos, but not let it affect their judgment. Obviously, that's not the case. Damn. Obviously, that's not the case. So I guess years of this hasn't sunk in. You know what I mean? It hasn't sunk in. So fuck it. Fuck it. I'll just do what I want from here on out, and I'll work with whoever the fuck I want from here on out. And if it looks like I'm copying somebody, then so be it. Let me see. Yeah, I know. It's like you put a lot of time into your own shit, man. It's hard work. It is. I don't think somebody just actually doing Corrupted. No, man, Corrupted is like, it's like we did Corrupted, and then it's like we had to sit there like puppy dogs waiting to see if he wanted to do it again. Does he want to play again? It don't work like that, especially with us. It don't work like that, man. It's like you either commit or you don't. Get off the pot or it's shit. You know what I mean? Don't sit on the toilet if you're not going to take a shit. You know what I mean? Don't sit on the toilet if you're not going to shit. You know? And I should have known right then and there that games were going to be played, you know, with that whole scenario, because it was like once it was like, oh, you want to do this? You want to do this? And I go, nah, not doing it. You know? And then doing it. You want to play? You want to play some basketball? Come on, let's go to the schoolyard. We're walking to the schoolyard with our ball. Come on, right? You go to pass right into the schoolyard like this. You're at the gate and you go like, I'm going home, and you run home. That's what it's like, man. Weird fucking shit. Weird shit, man. Fucking really weird shit. Yes, it's a barbecue lighter. So I just wanted to touch bases with everybody and tell you guys I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. Right after I get off of here, I'm going to contact Famous B, because he texted me twice since I was on here. So I'm going to see what he says. And if he still wants to do this with me, I'm doing it. And I don't give a fuck. And I'm going to do whatever I want with whoever I want. And Saturday night, I'll be making sex phone calls. Who doesn't like it or not, they don't have to work with me, and they can dangle that in front of me. If you don't listen to me and you don't do what I want you to do, I won't work with you. I won't work with you. If you don't listen to me and fall in line, I won't work with you. I'll pull it right away from you. You know, you better do the right thing, or else I'm not going to work with you. Well, then fuck you. I don't need to work with you, asshole. I don't need to fucking work with you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Dangle that shit in front of somebody else. Don't dangle it in front of me. Don't dangle it in front of me, man. Don't work here like that. Sorry. Doesn't work like that. All that had to be done was a communication. One phone call, one text message. Like, yo, I just did a show with that person. Like, I would have been like, oh, fuck, I didn't realize that. I'll cancel it. I'll do it at a later date. That's as easy as it would have been, man. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. But nope, shit's got to be turned into a whole nother fucking thing as usual. You know, Twitter and shit like that, that's what's going to ruin this fucking world. Is Twitter and Facebook and all that shit. That's what's ruining this fucking world. Because it's giving people who sit there and complain like little girls all fucking day, it's giving them a voice to let other people hear their complaints and their bullshit. And puts their complaints and their bullshit on a whole nother level. You know? Get a life. If you need fucking Twitter to express how you feel every fucking day, you're a sad motherfucker. And you have nobody in your life. If you need Twitter to express how you feel every 5 minutes, you're a sad motherfucker. You're a sad-ass motherfucker. If you go on Twitter to express your feelings every 5 minutes and tell people how you're feeling and who's copying you and who's doing this, then you're a fucking spineless bitch. Spineless. So, I think I said my piece. I'll be on tonight 150%. And I got a lot more to say. And I'll be around tonight, guys. Thank you for coming in today.